Today we're going to talk about converting decimals to fractions. So not percent to fractions, but actually just decimals to fractions today. So if you guys do not have these notes open, please make sure to open them and follow along. I am literally giving you the answers as we go through it. So there is no reason for your notes to be wrong. So moving on. So on the first page of your notes, we're going to look over a few different things on here. In this top left-hand corner, you actually see a place values chart. So you have the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, the one spot. You see on here, we do have a decimal, and then we have the tenths, so like 0.1, the hundredths, 0.01, and then the thousands, 0.001. So when we are talking about our numbers and our decimals, sometimes we will say the number and we say and for the decimal. So we could say this one like 6 and for the decimal 24 hundredths because the 4 ends in the hundred spot. So we might have 6 here. I can write this out for us. 6. Ooh, maybe I cannot. I can try though. We have 6 here, 0.24, and our 4 ends in the hundred spot. You guys kind of get what I'm trying to show you. I just can't write that small on here. But we do have 6 and we're going to drop our and here, 24 hundredths because our 4 ends in the hundred spot. So we're going to read the decimal as if you would say it, and then we're going to simplify our decimal, our fraction. So we're going to read the decimal as you would say it, build the fraction, and simplify. Okay, so make sure you guys have these filled in before we continue. So again, here we have 6 and 24 hundredths. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a fraction. So here we have 6 as our whole number. It's in the one spot. So anything in the ones, 10, hundreds, thousands, anything on the left-hand side of the decimal will be a whole number. So we can actually keep 6 the same in our fraction. We have 6 and 24 hundredths. Well, we have 24 hundredths. You hear the word hundred in there. We're going to put 24 over 100. Okay? So we have 24 hundredths. You might have to make this text box just a little bit bigger. But there we go. I'm just going to click and type 6 24 hundredths. So now we need to simplify. So when we're simplifying, we're reducing the fraction as maybe your elementary school teachers might say it. But there are some rules to teach you how to divide or teach you what are you going to divide by. So for this one, I can look at these numbers and I know that 24 is an even number. And I know that 100 is also an even number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 2. Because I know that 24 and 100 are even, you can easily divide them in half. You can divide them in 2. Well, if I'm just looking at my fraction here, I'm leaving the whole number the same, looking at the fraction. I know 24 divided by 2 is 12, and I know 100 divided by 2 is 50. Well, I'm looking at these numbers again. It ends in 2, it ends in 0. Those are going to be even numbers. So I can divide by 2 again. So if I divide 12 divided by 2, and I'll do it in a different color, but if I have 12 divided by 2, I have 6. And if I divide 50 by 2, like straight in half, I have 25. Now, there's a few different rules we have to remember, but if we're talking about even numbers, we can divide by 2. 6 is an even number, but 25 is not an even number, so I can't divide by 2. Another rule that we should really try to remember is our 5s rule. If it ends in 5 or 0, so if both the top and bottom number end in 5 and 0, we can divide by 5. Well, 6 does not end in 5 or 0, so I can't divide by 5. If both numbers end in 0, you can divide by 10. Neither of these end in 5 or 0, or just 0. So I'm going to say that we are done. So we went from 24 over 100, or 24 hundredths. We divided by 2 because they're both even, and we got 12 50ths. Then we divided by 2 again because both of these numbers, our numerator and denominator, are both even. So I got 6 25ths. So we have determined that we cannot divide by anything else because we would have to divide the top and bottom by the same number. So I'm going to leave it as 6 and 6 25ths, what our answer will be here. Our whole number is going to stay the same throughout. So we have 6 and 24 hundredths, or 6.24. So 6 and 24 hundredths. And we simplified it down to 6 and 6 25ths. Now, what I want you guys to do is you have 25 hundredths. So it says in yellow, it's your turn. I want you to make 25 hundredths into a fraction. So I need you guys to actually do this on a notebook piece of paper, and I need you to turn it into a fraction. So 0.25 into a fraction, or 25 hundredths. And be sure that you actually do simplify. So again, if it ends in a 5 or 0, you can definitely divide it by 5 as a quick hint. And after you guys do that, I want you guys to try just a few more problems, okay? So you guys are going to have to do 0.25 on the first page, and I want you to try that one on your own and see what you get. Then I want you guys to come to this page, and you have 3 more problems to do. So you will not use all of these answers, but I want you to make sure you're showing your work on paper, because on the very last slide, you are taking a picture with your camera, your Chromebook camera, and you're posting the picture of your work. So again, to post that picture, click Insert, Image, and click on Camera to open that Chromebook camera to take a picture. If you have any questions at all, make sure you do ask during our class time.